Episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Folks, so today we're going to be talking about something that every person in real estate is equally frustrated by. And it's called, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about, the special ads category. Ever since that damn thing came around, Facebook advertising has just really gotten to be more annoying than anything. I remember in 2014, maybe 15, 16, somewhere around that time, we used to be able to run ads to people who are likely to move, and they used to work really good. But then everyone started doing it. And then, just like in anything, when everyone else starts doing it, you ruined it. And the truth is that today, Facebook ads are not quite what they used to be. Let's be honest. Yeah, do you still need to use them? Can you still use them? Absolutely. But is Facebook really more brand or lead generation? And which is the right platform for lead generation? So what we're going to be doing today is talking about just that. Where should we put our efforts in? Because the truth is that Facebook ads are not doing what they used to do in the past, but that doesn't mean there hasn't been another silent Trojan horse that has entered into the space. And that's really what we're going to be chatting about today. So I get a call from this dude, and this guy seems to be a little bit like us. He's very duty. He knows his shit. He's a marketing guy. And he comes to us from the East Coast. So without further ado, we're going to go through and introduce our guest. And he's going to walk us through exactly what he's doing with YouTube nowadays. Without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Aaron Martinez. Aaron, what's up, dude?
Dude, everything's going well. We were talking about before the show. It's funny. I usually listen to you at 2x speed. So hearing you talk at 1x speed is actually really funny. But yeah, I guess fast. Yeah, exactly. Long story short. Yeah. So I guess long story short, like I said, my name is Aaron Martinez. I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia right now. I've been doing real estate in terms of marketing for probably the past 5 years or so. I used to work with a larger brokerage doing a lot of their advertising, branding, video, things like that. And really quickly realized that I'm kind of good at doing some of this stuff. And, I like to be on video. Like, why not try to venture out and kind of take some of the stuff that I learned and transition into, doing it for other people. And it started to work really well. So started more on the Facebook side of things, and then went to my roots of YouTube. I've done built a couple YouTube channels in the past. I was like, hey, let's try YouTube for real estate in terms of like paid ads, and then also transitioning more into just posting for free for everyone across their real estate journey. So that's in a nutshell where I've been.
We're going to go beneath the hood here on what you can do with YouTube, I believe, on the show. But I want you guys to realize that why YouTube can be so effective for your business is because there's simply no other real estate people doing it, period. The targeting is also extremely precise. So you could actually still reach your ideal client, but your message has to be precise. You have to be 100% like accurate on who you're speaking to, but there's never been a better chance or an easier way to dominate brand, lead generation, really get your method out there. If you remember when Facebook ads first started, Aaron, I don't remember this, the people who first started on Facebook ads were the ones who were closing a ton of deals, right? It was the late adopters that came to Facebook later on in the game, and then they never saw the results. Well, that's the exact same thing. We call this a blue ocean in marketing world. It's a blue ocean, and that's really what YouTube ads are right now. So let's start at the very beginning here. Aaron, what the fuck happened to Facebook? Walk me through it. Why are we generating leads? Let's just hit the elephant and address the elephant right on top here.
Yeah. So I think you touched on it a little bit at the beginning, which is all the changes is I'm sure you've heard this saying all the time is marketers ruin everything, whether it's, cold calling, whether it's, creating ads on Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is there's just always an influx of people that go to it. So like I said, you touched on it, back a couple of years back, I think it was at 2015, 2016 is when they took out a lot of those really like spot on targeting tactics, methods, whatever you want to call it. So with the special ads, that's when they introduced that. So you couldn't target income ranges, you couldn't target, zip codes, right? You couldn't target homeowners, you can target really any of those people specifically. So, with that transition into YouTube, like you said, really the three main things that we found that because it makes it, blue ocean, higher quality leads, and over even to our conversion rate, you can target income ranges, right? We've really specialized in focusing on, hey, let's target 50%, 20%, even 10% of, income earners, right? Or top income earners, so that when you do bring them through the qualification process, you don't run into, oh, well, my credit score is 400 and I want a 5-bedroom house for $30,000, right? It's not going to work. So again, that's one part of it. And then just being able to search and put your advertisements in front of people that are actively searching for things, right? So instead of with Facebook, I mean, we've all been here. The thing that I always say is like, when you're scrolling through Facebook, you don't have your credit card in your hand ready to buy a house, right? So, I mean, you focus a lot on this as the branding side of things. So why not put the ads and spend the money and the ad dollars into people that are searching for things like how to buy a house? What is my house worth? What does the home buying process look like? Creating ads around that so that, again, you're getting more people that are a little bit more bottom funnel. So you're not, again, waiting for 6 to 8 months for a Facebook lead to convert over. So that's high level. I don't know if I answer the question specifically.
I'll even dumb it down for people. So what he's saying is like when you're on Facebook, you're not going on the Facebook to buy a house. You're going on Facebook to see what your friends did the last weekend or follow some news story or whatever. You're just not in a state of mind. And Facebook's a social media site. YouTube's a search engine. So the intent for the answers and the search that you're looking for on YouTube, you're meeting people where they want to be met, not intruding into their inner space and saying interrupting it. It's not interruptive marketing. It's like, hey, oh my God, this ad must have been reading my mind type marketing. And that's a lot more effective because you're giving people exactly what they're asking for as opposed to just popping up randomly and making them think, oh, wow, maybe I do need to move. There's a major difference in that. You're targeting intent versus non-intent. Walk me through, and in Facebook, you can't target anything right now. So tell me, are you seeing any success in Facebook right now at all?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and tell me which ads and what type of ads.
Yeah, so we still have, a good portion of our clients right now because we just within the past like 2 or 3 months really transitioned more into the YouTube side. So we still have about 40 or 50 active clients that are using Facebook right now. And you said at the beginning too, it's not that Facebook doesn't work necessarily. It just depends on what your ultimate goal is. So some of the stuff that we're working on with Facebook right now is just number one, when you go into it, setting the expectation that it's a numbers game every single time because there's really no targeting, right? You can say that you have a bunch of pixel data, which you can, build up over time, but 9 times out of 10, the ads that we're seeing that are working is straight up homes lists, right? Like, yeah, it's not going to be something that generates, out of five people out of 100 want to move or actually buy a house. That's not how it is. But my biggest recommendation, and this is really any lead source, is the follow-up. It needs to be on point no matter where you are. It's just Facebook has to be a lot more because, again, you are on that process or on the platform that it doesn't, again, people aren't looking for it. Now, the second part of that, right? Number one, the follow-up has to be on point. But the one thing that we're seeing that's working extremely well, and we're seeing anywhere from 30 to 40% from lead to appointment, is just qualification on the back end, right? So a lot of people are running things like, hey, like here's a homes list, put in your name, phone number, email, right? The barrier to entry for that is very low. So you're going to get a lot of leads, right? You're talking 80-cent leads, dollar leads, whatever it is. But I mean, if I've asked 100% of the time, everyone says, I want more quality over quantity, right? Because you can get 500 leads, but if none of them convert over, then what's the point? So back to the qualification, when somebody comes through a Facebook ad, you guys can go and try this yourself, is ask questions on the back end on either a landing page, a chat bot, right? You can look at some more of Mike's content to figure out exactly how to do that. But we're asking 13 questions before they even become a lead, right? So they see the ad, they click learn more, and they're filling out questions like, what zip code are you looking to move or buy in? Are you already working with a realtor?
Are they one question at a time, like short forms?
So this is more long form, and we do it one question at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're asking them
one question, so they don't see 13 questions
up
front. They only see one at a time, and then they're more engaged because they think the next answer is always like where they get their lead magnet, right, or whatever.
Yeah. And here's a little golden nugget is instead of saying, hey, go fill out our 13 question form, is the way that we say is like in our copy, you guys, again, you can steal this. It's, hey, are you a insert X home or, resident right now looking to move to blah, blah, blah. Take our really quick, 15 to 60 second home buyer quiz and see if you qualify. Right. Yeah. So it's not like, hey, go fill out this form.
See that?
It's a quiz. It gamifies it. It makes it seem kind of fun. So people are hanging out. They'll answer, they'll spend 60 seconds to do that. And then they fill out those 13 questions. Now, what that's doing is it's just cutting out all the people that are just tire kickers that were just doing it to, kind of mess around. And it's only bringing people through that. I mean, if someone sees 13 questions, they're not just going to do it for fun, right? They're going to go through. And that's not, 100% conversion, but again, it's higher than just like name, phone number, email.
Them.
Yep.
Do you guys want a bunch of tire kickers, or do you want people that are actually worth talking to? It's crazy on how many people in the real estate industry, just the fact that they're getting leads, they don't care if they close, but if they're getting leads, like it's not even a matter if it just feels good. Like it's most of the time, and most of the agents don't even follow up on them to begin with. Like, oh, I got 100 leads this month. Oh, I'm doing my job. No, dude, you didn't close any of them. Those 100 leads aren't worth it. I'd rather get 2 leads I close than 100 I don't. And it's not about getting the leads, you guys. That's not hard to make your phone ring. It's about what the hell you do when it does. And there's a major difference between the two. So you're saying this is advanced shit, you guys. You're talking about if you're running Facebook ads, you have to run them through like a messenger bot, start a conversation, go through all these ins and outs, and it's just gotten more complicated. Is that a fair statement?
Yep. Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
And is it still true that Facebook leads, quote unquote, are about 6 to 9 months out on average?
If you say? Yeah, pretty much on, six is like on the low end too. Like, and don't get me wrong, you'll always have people that's like, hey, like I just got divorced, I need to downsize, like we need to move tomorrow, right? Like you'll have those situations, but again, like people that are searching on there, even if you're targeting people that might be interested in Zillow or might be interested in realtor.com, there's still that process in place. And even let's say they're like, okay, I'm 3 months down the road, there's still that whole process of, okay, let's find a house, let's get pre-approved, let's go through this whole process. So what I always the expectation that we set is don't really expect to make your return on investment at least at the bare minimum like 3 months, because but that's bare minimum.
Well, that's a really good point, because so many people go to Facebook for right now business, and that's never the case. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need leads right now. I'm going to go run Facebook ads, folks. I'm not using Facebook at all for lead generation. I'm only using it for brand and retargeting. I'm just retargeting website visitors or email lists. I quit advertising. I use YouTube for all of my ad one, where I find people to retarget. And that's what we're going to get into. So here, let me get your final thoughts on Facebook. So is Facebook still good for right now business?
For right now business, no. Is Facebook good for certain things, right? 100%. I think it depends on, what is your goal, right? Do you want right now business? Do you want something that can convert within the next, 30, 60, 90 days? I probably wouldn't use Facebook, just because like you said, like you're going to get a bunch of leads. The instant gratification is going to be all the way up here, and then you're going to be really let down when none of them convert. Yep. But like you said, we use for Facebook, a lot of times it's mostly for retargeting and branding.
Yep. 100% agree with that. Now let's switch over to YouTube though. For now business, would you use YouTube?
100%. We launched a campaign for a realtor on Friday. We launched the campaign. It didn't really get kicked off till like Saturday. We've already converted 3 people into appointments. 2 of them need to move in the next 30 days. Because one of them is like, they're renting a house right now, but they're like got a last minute notice that like, hey, we need to move. So they're going to see business in the next 30 days. But we have 3 leads that have come in, all 3 of them to appointments for today.
Love it. So, and why is that? It's the targeting, right? Mm-hmm. So let's walk people through the difference now that they're following along. I want to walk through the difference of targeting on YouTube versus Facebook. And let's just walk through how specific you can be on YouTube. So folks, pay attention to this, because you can reach people, at least get your message. Getting the video done is a whole nother story. You might need to call real estate marketing dude for that.
Yeah.
But it's the point that you could literally pop up in front of somebody that needs your services right now.
Yep.
Like, where do you think I'm finding all you guys at? You guys are scheduling demos with me. I'm finding you on YouTube. I'm targeting the keyword searches that you're using. And then you click on my site, and then I follow you around to schedule an appointment on Facebook and Instagram. Walk us through the targeting for real estate agents specifically on YouTube, and some of the, call it the better ads. Are you targeting keywords? And I don't want to talk. Why don't you do your thing? Cause I want to,
Yeah. So we're testing out a lot of different things, and pretty much what you just said is 2 of the things that we're really focusing in on is the first one is the keyword searches, right? So we're literally, you can target, it's crazy. You can target people that are in market. Like there's a tab that says like, people are in market, which is insane, right? People that are in market within specific areas. And pretty much what we said, right? We're targeting people that are looking for specific keywords. Like we have like, I think it's 100 keywords targeted specifically for like FHA versus conventional, right? And then we have, some on the other side, conventional versus FHA. What is conventional? Can I qualify for conventional, FHA, things like that. So we have just a bunch of keywords there. Things like, how do I buy a house in Phoenix, right? What does the home buying process look like in Florida? Right? How to get pre-qualified in X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
Right. So those are really the key targeting. And back to what you said about like business right now, like if people are searching those things, they need it now. They need it yesterday. Right. So they're going to be a lot further down the funnel. The second part that's kind of a ninja tactic that we talk about too is being able to target specific URL data based on where people are searching. So we just go, all we do is we go to this specific market, call it Salt Lake City, Utah. We go to Zillow, we go to realtor.com, we go to Redfin, we go to Trulia. We go and we search in, homes in Salt Lake City. We can go to that specific URL, the Google tag. We take this is getting nerdy, but we can take the Google tag and literally put ads in front of the traffic that are on those sites. Again, people are not that deep into the weeds of searching on these websites just because they're bored. Now, there is some people I know I've done in the past see, oh, I'm curious of what this would look like. But again, 9 times out of 10, these people are actually in market. So those are really the biggest ones that we're focusing on right now. And then the cool part is you just stack them on top of each other, right? People that are searching for, how do I get pre-qualified? Also looking for homes in Salt Lake City, also in the top 10% of income earners, game over.
Yep. And where are these ads? So folks, first starts with the who you're targeting. But let's talk about like on YouTube, because a lot of people aren't that familiar with YouTube. Let's be honest. Like the agents aren't totally familiar. Like they don't even know what the hell a playlist means in general. So where are these ads popping up? Because I want to talk about the branding op, especially if you're running them like the bumper ones. So
so a couple different ones. So right now, in terms of the ones that we're seeing that are working the best, is putting the ads in the pre-roll and before the ads come up, or before the actual video, right? So you go to watch a video, how to buy a house, right? We're popping up in front of those videos. So that's what you're talking about, right?
It's just the button. It's the video that pops up right before skip, right where it allows you to skip. You get what, 5-7 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's 5 seconds that you get to skip that. And then, so yeah, that's for the most part where we're putting them. And the cool part about that too is we didn't touch on it earlier, but with YouTube, you only have to pay after a certain point, right? So you're only paying after somebody watches 30 seconds of the ad, as opposed to Facebook, right? You're getting paid, or you're getting charged for like when people click on the link, or, when they're scrolling through. Like Facebook's always getting paid. You're only paying for after they've watched 30 seconds. So in that first 30 seconds, this goes more to the creative side, but it allows you to attract the people that you want and then push away the ones that you don't, so that you're only getting the people that, that they're actively looking for your thing. Because I don't know about you, dude, but like I've never watched 30 seconds of an ad and like didn't take action on it,
Yeah, it's the beginning of these are so crucial. But folks, that means you get anyone who, if you watch the video, so let's just say you get your video shown, let's just say you get 1,000 impressions and 900 of those watch 29 seconds or less. You don't get charged to show those 900 people that's free ad. That's free branding. You don't get charged a penny for any of that. It's only after 30 seconds or a click. So that's extremely powerful in ads. Like you can't do that in Facebook. So YouTube comes in almost like a pre-built-in branding play that you can go ahead and utilize. And that's like it's a no-brainer. Like people would probably just pay money just for the brand aspect of it. Well, they would. I wonder if YouTube's going to keep that around for forever, or once they start monetizing more, if that goes away. Wouldn't surprise me. Walk me through though that very beginning, because you only got 5 seconds. So can I start that video out and be like, I've been in the business for 25 years. Is that how I should start my video out here?
I've been in the business for 25 years and I was ranked the #1 realtor for the past 15 decades. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. The general thing, kind of what we talked about, is we want to attract the people that we want to work with and push away the ones that we don't, right? So really literally pulling it from a script for, let's call it sellers, right? Because everyone wants sellers these days.
Yep.
Everyone wants listings. So the ads that we're creating for sellers right now that are literally like, I think we're getting seller/listing leads for like, I think $17, something like that. And these are people that are searching for those things, right? How to sell my house, things like that. But how the video starts out is, if you're a Phoenix homeowner right now looking to sell your home in the next 30 to 60 days with tons of offers in the first 48 hours, watch this video. Right. So if I'm a Phoenix homeowner and I'm not planning to sell my house, I'm clicking next. But if I am, right, and that grabs my interest and I'm like, oh, I want to get, multiple offers within the first 24 hours, 100%, I'm going to watch the video.
Yep.
So that's pretty much what it looks like. And then on the buyer side, kind of same thing. Hey, so if you're a Phoenix resident and you're looking to get the dream, your dream home in the next 30 to 60 days, make sure to watch this video, something like that.
So super important with YouTube ads, you guys. If you have your traditional ad, like you only have X amount of time to get their attention. And remember, just like in Facebook, you need to start the funnel. You need to start the engagement. You need to start something to retarget them or something, and you have to call it out. There is not a universal seller video to use on YouTube. So there's all kinds of sellers. That means if I'm targeting 5 different sellers, then I need 5 different videos, and it needs to be that precise. So let's get one if I'm targeting someone who's in divorce. Hey, did she,
Okay.
here's a divorce one. Hey, dude, is she trying to take the damn house from you too? Well, if you're going to divorce her now and your wife's trying to take your damn house, you need to watch this fucking video. And then you could flip it because you could target sexes too. That's how
of course
it needs to be, right? Like it has to be that defined. Or, hey, is the bank trying to foreclose on your property? Well, you need to watch this video. I'm targeting people searching for short sale foreclosure and all the other stuff right there. So take your headline or your person, it's your attention getter. You have to call them out exactly who the hell it's for.
Yep.
What's the length of time are you seeing on these videos?
That's a good question. We're testing a lot of stuff. We're finding more long form is definitely the way to go. I think the average of our videos are probably about 4 to 6 minutes, I think is on average. And, you know, I think a lot of people always give like, you know, some pushback on me saying that. And they're like, oh, well, you know, no one's going to stay, you know, on the video for that long and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is with YouTube, like these people are on YouTube to watch videos, right? They're in this digestion. Like I want to watch, you know, a couple hours of YouTube at the end of the night. So they're in that mode already. So when you put an educational video in front of those people, like they're going to watch that on top of, again, if we're doing, let's say it's a buyer's ad, people are going to watch 5 minutes if they're about to make the largest investment in their life, right? They're going to do that research. So again, we're testing out a lot of different things. We're testing like more short, like 30-second, but we're finding the most conversion as well as the highest quality from the longer form videos, about 4 to 6 minutes.
And are you running, can an agent do this with just one video, or do they need a sequence? Do they need follow-ups? Is it, are you doing multiple ads to the same audience? Are you retargeting on YouTube? Talk to me a little bit about that and how a role that plays. Or are you just doing the straight lead generation, one video call to action, and that's working?
Yeah, I think it depends on the person that we're working with, or like depends on that person's goals. So I think, you know, we're running with a larger team in this area. I'm in Virginia Beach, and they have like 300 agents. So we're doing a lot of that. We're doing sellers, foreclosures. We're doing, you know, pretty much everything under the sun. I think we have like 7 or 8 videos running nonstop. Now we'll say it's not really a downside because you're going to get the ROI from it. But it's just more expensive on YouTube, right? More expensive on YouTube and Google than, you know, throwing $10 a day on Facebook. So yeah, I think it depends on the person. If it's a single agent, I think you can more than get away with just one video, but you can also like layer on top of that, right? Because if someone's just jumping into YouTube, they don't want to, you know, spend $1,000 a month here, 1,000 here for retargeting, another 1,000 here. They want to just dip their toes a little bit, but it's you know, you know, it's endless, the possibilities, right? Because we can talk about, like you said, you can start retargeting on Facebook. You can start doing, you know, display ads on Google and literally follow people around the internet. So I think it depends on the person's situation on what they should be doing to implement.
Totally. What do you see in the buyer leads coming at, like cost per lead? You said sellers, you saw $17. It's pretty good. What do you see?
Yeah, I think with buyers, I was looking at earlier this morning, probably about 7 to 10.
Yeah, that sounds right.
7 to 15, depending on the market. Because we were in this area, I think we were getting them for, we just launched like 5 campaigns today. Let me just see, because it's right here. Yeah, so average about 7 to 15 for the buyer stuff, and then seller. Actually, no, I lied. Seller's a little bit higher. I mean, it's about 20, 25 average. But I mean, if you're going to spend 25 to get 6% of a $400,000 house, like.
Yeah, I mean that's what the rehabbers will pay $50. Like rehabbers, investors will pay $50 for a seller lead all day.
Yep.
It's crazy that realtors won't realize that. See, like the traditional mindset, or like a common mindset would say, all right, well, I'm going to do Facebook ads because I could get them for $3 a lead. More. Most of us think more is better, but not in marketing all the time. It's not about the number of leads that we're getting as much as it is about the conversions and who closes at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. If one of the things I saw on YouTube, I think YouTube is the ultimate farming system. if you just want to build your brand, like especially if you're in a smaller geographic area, like I just got off the phone with somebody who's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The entire
We just signed
county
on somebody that was in Lancaster.
their entire county is 500,000 people. I'm like, dude, just fucking target the whole thing. Cause once you get rid of all the old people and kids, you're probably about 250,000, which isn't a large amount of people for ads, especially when you go into their zips within the county. So we have another lady in La Crosse, Wisconsin. There's only 20,000 people in the whole town. Like, I'm just going to hit the whole town. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
it's not that hard. Like, I think people should look at YouTube as modern day billboards, because that's exactly what it is. When you're looking at playing a branding game with it, it's very easy to hit your geographic area and just stay in front of it. Like, it might take a total of like 10 minutes to set up, and you just let the ad run. Like, the other thing I like about YouTube ads is that they're a lot easier to run. There's no copy.
Yep.
There's no images. So if you suck at, but you have to do video. If you suck at images or design, like I did, I'm horrible at design, then it's an awesome thing, because you could just do a video and you don't have to think about the copy. It's what you say, not anything else.
Yep.
What else would you say what other opportunities are your agents missing, and what do you think is going forward? I'm with you. I think Facebook is on its way out the door. Talk to me about this new iOS update that we mentioned on Facebook, because this is really, really important. I've not heard this before. Before we were speaking, I think this is really good information for people to know. Aaron was telling me about an iOS update for Facebook that's basically going to kill the ad game. So talk to me about that. Tell me what that is.
Yeah. So the update's actually, it's going to impact really most apps. It's a whole privacy thing. So I want to preface this by saying, I mean, our company, I mean, as well as Mike's, like, we run ads for, well, not Mike specifically, we run ads for companies, right? So me creating this whole thing of like, oh no, like Facebook is going, like, I didn't say this. Facebook literally had, like, you can Google iOS 14 Facebook, and they came out with an article that says, I think it's titled something like how to deal with the impact of iOS 14 for Facebook ads. Like, they literally did it themselves. So starting off with that, long story short, what it is before, there's been a lot of privacy issues. Like, you get followed around with retargeting and ads and things like that. So iOS 14, what it does for just regular iOS users, as in the past, you've had to go into like 5 different settings on your phone to say, I don't want to be followed by Facebook, right? Or I don't want to be followed by, Google or whatever. Now, what they're doing is, once you update to iOS 14, is when you open any new apps, this goes for your pictures, this goes for just the app itself. There's literally a box that says, hey, do you want us to follow you around the internet? Click yes if you want us to. One's going to, like, not, I wouldn't say nobody, but now that's exaggerated verbiage. But really what it says is, hey, can we track specific analytics of your phone, your location, your search habits, things like that, to serve you with better things. And again, people are going to look at that like, I'm being followed. Like, I don't want that. So they they said 80%, like, they're saying it's going to drop, like the conversion or the effectiveness is going to drop by 80% because of that.
That's a huge deal, guys. I did not hear about that. Basically, like, all these data companies, I just watched The Social Dilemma this weekend.
Yeah.
Great movie. But it's what you're talking about is what that movie addresses hits it right on the head.
Yep.
And basically saying that you can't let the algorithm, like, brainwash you anymore, or force you to buy stuff. That's really what the whole basis of that movie is about, which is really, really powerful. That's very interesting. And that's going to be across the web, though. If that applies to Google, that would also apply to YouTube ads as well, which again comes back to brand is the name of the game.
Yeah. Our argument that they have is, yes, it's going to really impact all of them, but it's only iOS right now, and Android is technically a part of Google, or like part of Google, a part of YouTube. So yes, it's going to be impacted. I mean, only time will tell, like, really the type of, like, the impact that it would have. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
We'll find out. Well, this stuff's always changing, you guys. I can tell you, when email, like a few years back, when people were saying, oh, well, email's dead. Like, the marketing and all this lead generation stuff changes all the time. The only thing you guys can do as an entrepreneur is just to change with it. Mm-hmm. This is just another one of those opportunities. Like, I can tell you how many people we talk to that have these old school lead generation sites that just aren't doing what they did 4 or 5 years ago. And folks, you have to remember that it's not that lead generation changes, consumer habits do. And you have to adapt to the consumer habits. Otherwise, the lead generation eventually falls on deaf ears. Let me give you one more example. 3 years ago, I bought a car. I opted into a car website. Never fucking doing that again. I had car salesmen still calling me. They still text me. It's 3 years ago. And I just got so turned off because I was sick of being cold called by a bunch of car salesmen that were 18 years old, literally calling me at all hours a day, until I finally just said, fuck off, leave me alone. Like literally. Yep. And I'm like, holy crap, this is what people do when they opt into Zillow. So like people are less likely to exchange information for a quote unquote lead as they were 5 years ago. So you have to change with it. And this is just another one of those opportunities I see. We've been streaming YouTube for the last year, and I'm like, dude, someone's got to do this. Someone's got to get into this. Someone's got to go out there. I'm glad that you're taking it by the horns and showing the way for some people, because that's, I think it's a blue ocean. And
and I mean, talking on that same point, like that person that say they were going to, because that happened to me, the same thing. I was looking at like a Tesla, and the same thing is like they started bombarding me. Well, I'm going to not do that, but I'm going to YouTube and I'm going for reviews on this Tesla that I want. Yeah. And I'm on Google, right? I'm looking at reviews. I'm looking at pros and cons. I'm looking at, these different things. And then, Tesla ad comes in front of me, a salesperson from there. Hey, like if you're, in the market for a Tesla and you want to know like some of the main things that you need to know absolutely before you buy a Tesla, like click this video, right? I'm doing that all day of the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like, and you got to, all of that's positioning. Like the person that says, it's almost like if you are in the market to do this, then do this so you don't do this, insert pain point.
Yeah.
There's your script, you guys. There's the formula. Very, very, very cool. Aaron, any closing thoughts you wanted to add up on this? Anything else you want to add to our listeners?
Not anything specifically. I think, just watching through this and just doing your own research, right? Figuring out like what's going to be best. I think we've touched it on a couple of times is Facebook ads still work. Google ads still work. YouTube, just depending on what you're doing. And then organic, just posting on YouTube, like is a whole other conversation that we can have, because we're crushing it on that side too, just in a couple of different markets for just posting on YouTube. Yep. So doing the research, I have a free Facebook group. Is it cool to give that to people? Please. Cool. So if you just search YouTube ad success for real estate professionals, you can just search that up. It's I think we have like 3,000 people in there. We go live every Wednesday talking about, specific things. Last week we talked about, how to do more like the organic YouTube side. The week before that, we talked about Facebook versus YouTube. Week before that, we did an entire hour of just how to convert more leads at the 80% that we have. So just a free resource for you guys to check out and hang out with us on Wednesdays.
And why don't you go ahead and let them know what your guys' website is, and we'll get this wrapped up.
Cool. So Revamped Real Estate. If you go to that website, just shows a video, kind of goes over our entire process from beginning to end, targeting that we use, follow-up scripts that we use, things like that. Check that video out. If you have any questions, add me, Aaron Martinez, on Facebook. I like having conversations with people. I'm a human. It's anything that you guys need, just let me know. Cool, man. Well, appreciate you sharing the insight. And ring in the bell, because I believe that Facebook is no longer lead gen, it's brand. I've been saying this for a while. Right in the special ads category came out, and brand means you have to create content. The only way you build your brand is through consistent communication of the same audience. And if you don't have content, that's exactly what we do for you. So come on and visit our website at Real Estate Marketing Dude. We script, edit, and distribute your videos. So guys like Aaron can go out and have the ads to do what you want him to do, because the truth is, if you don't have the content, guys like Aaron are stuck not being able to do as good of a job than when you do have the content. And that's what we put together. So if you have any additional questions on that, feel free to visit our site. Again, done for you video marketing services, realestatemarketingdude.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And once you do, I will retarget you until you schedule a meeting and meet with me, because I will get you on camera. Video's not hard. It's just new, but we make it really fucking easy. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach. Thank you so much for listening to an episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. Aaron, we appreciate you, dude. Thanks you for sharing your insight today. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.